from the bottom. Ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What's going down, gamblers around the world? It's the coach here representing Brothas N Bets, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Marley Bets. What's going down, Marley?
Goddamn deal. Here to talk another goddamn conference. See if we get this shit underway. So watching the little MLB, ready to just jump into football, man. I'm ready to. I ain't gonna say stop betting on baseball, but I'm just ready for some football.
All right, and we got our boy that's been holding us down in the MLB show along with Marley Bets. He joined us last week with some insight on the Big Ten Conference, and he decided to join us again today. My man, Mr. Money, yeah, Moose Money Bets. What's going down, Moose?
Yo, what's going on? I think I just came up with my my little intro move there. I think I might have to do the little money Moose coming on from here on out. That might have to be my new SIG.
I got you. And today's show is sponsored by.
I don't think you got to do that.
Shay's Hair. That's why I'm here right now. My son's getting voted. So Shay's Hair. She does dreads. She does locks. What else she do?
Hold on. Twist by Teresa.
Twist by Teresa, aka Shay's Hair, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, we got a very special show, and also will be joining us soon, Mr. DJ Big Boss. What up, though, from the Who Bangin' Sports Podcast? He will be joining us here shortly as well. But we almost there. College football right around the corner. You see, I'm still in my two-a-day gear with the school. Marley's coaching, Moose is coaching, DJ getting high, and he on the ones and twos. So I'm excited, man. Been watching some preseason football, and I couldn't even just gather the fact that, man, football is here. I had my scrimmage Friday with my high school team. We did pretty well. Came out on fire. We are freshman and sophomore heavy and making some good money right now. I'm up to, how would you say the units? Because we said, hey, I'm up 2K. How would you say the units? 20 units? I'm up.
Yeah, that would be
20 units, because 2 units would be 2. I'm up right now. Goddamn Giants broke my heart just now. I took the under in that game, and they just broke my heart in the live betting. But other than that, man, ready to get started. Just a quick reminder, starting next Tuesday, we will be going live with our NCAA live show at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And our NFL shows will be kicking off even a week later at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time on Wednesdays. So we are here, week 0, right around the corner. Then we got the Labor Day games, and it's full-blown football all the way. Just to recap, I know I'm talking a lot, but once we get to the topics, I'm gonna shut up and let y'all do y'all thing, because that's what
I don't have a lot to
best.
say, but Clemson's gonna win.
Spoiler alert! Goddamn.
Spoiler alert!
I like the Wolfpack. These are bullshit conferences. Let's just be real.
Just to get a review of how we did last year, Marley went over 100 wins. Almost 125 wins.
26 over.
I almost got up to 80. Honestly, this was just a regular season, all the way up to the last week, I believe. So I reckon it's honestly a whole lot better. It should be.
It's not counting the bowl games.
Not counting the last week bowl games. But our boy Flat Top from the West, he'll be joining us too once we start our NCAA shows. But other than that, man, how y'all feel, man? Y'all ready to jump right into it?
Oh, let's do it. Unlike Marley, I'm pumped about this conference, so I'm ready to talk about it.
You're pumped about it?
I'm pumped about every conference, every single conference. There's not one conference I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit about this. Like, I don't want to know nothing. Like, within each conference, there is ability to make money. I'm not going to bet this conference to like be the best conference in fucking football.
No, I'm not saying that. Oh, no. We can make money off every conference.
Yeah. That's what that's kind of the feeling I'm going. That's the vibe.
My thing is still Clemson first quarter bets, Clemson first half bets. It just depends. Hopefully they got their act together a whole lot this year to where we can continue making that money. But like you said, the biggest question is going to be how are they going to replace Mr. Venerables, who left and went to Oklahoma.
All quotations.
How they going to deal with that?
So with those quotations, let me go and get started.
Go ahead. Wait a minute. You start on what? You want to go? You want to go to your preview of the channel?
I'm just talking about the conference preview, ACC. But you did the quotes. I'm sure that was a reference to me talking about Venables on the last show because I gave the quotes and y'all went crazy. Like I just was talking bad about them. But so let's get to that. We're gonna watch this Clemson defense pick right back up where they left off, as if Variables wasn't even a fucking factor. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't a factor, but I'm saying the defense is gonna pick up as if he wasn't a fucking factor. And I'm gonna tell you why. Fucking talent. There's talent at every spot. Now, I'll get into all the returning stuff when we talk about actual Clemson and how many returners they got and who are they, blah, 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 blah. Conference perspective, though, my opinion, before we get into Clemson, I think it's theirs to lose. From a betting perspective, at least teams that I bet on last year, like NC State was a bet on team for me last year. I made a lot of money off them with overs. Wake Forest, I made a little bit of money off them. I didn't ride them too hard, but I do like NC State. They got O'Leary coming back. Wake Forest coaches told me lost their quarterback. I'm not high on the Hurricanes. Cristobal got to show me, so we'll talk about them. Pitt,
show you.
I got to see what Moose we talked about it earlier. Slovak went over there from USC, quarterback from USC. I got to see what's all left from that Panther team. I mean,
since we on the topic of the Pitt, they did win the conference last year. Kenny Pickett, he actually did his thing yesterday, a preseason game.
Real good.
And they won. Did they win that game this year?
They did.
Yeah, they won that game. So let's talk about Pitt, which were the 2021 champions of the ACC. In fact, in that game, Kenny Pickett created a new rule to where you cannot fake and slide. So let's talk about the Pitt Panthers. I'm gonna let Marley go ahead and start it off.
All right. So 11-3, 7-1 in the ACC. Last year, as Coach said, they won the ACC. They lost to Michigan State, whose Moose is not high on next season. They lost to Florida, who I am not high on, and they lost to Western Michigan. That MAC-12, that shit can get tricky. But they do have 8. They got 15 starters in all coming back, returning starters. That is 8 on offense, 7 on defense. Whole offensive line is intact, so obviously that's going to be a plus. That's very fucking important. However, I don't know how everybody else feels, but Kenny Pickett was the man. Clearly, he is the man going forward. He just won the job in Pittsburgh from Trubisky, who they traded for in the offseason to get Trubisky. Can't remember.
It's not a big accomplishment. Not a big accomplishment.
I'm not saying it's a big part. Normally, you don't want to start the rookie, though. You want to give him a year. It's not like Kenny Pickett came out as the number 1 quarterback and we was like, he's ready to go. He wasn't no Trevor Lawrence.
Technically, Trubisky came out as the number 1 quarterback, too.
I'm saying with Trevor, we can discount Trubisky even being there. What I'm saying is, what's up, Dave? What I'm saying is, what's up, nerds?
Hey, that has to be the first time I've ever been called a nerd in my life.
Fucking get on base, god damn it! My bad, I got the Yankees. Yeah, I'm on Yankees money line. So it's the top of the field.
Probably gonna have to do the under.
I'll wait till this inning over though, and then take them. Anyway, bam. But losing, you lose Kroll, excuse me. That tight end, all ACC, 38 catches, 450 yards, 6 touchdowns, big target and tight end. You got a new quarterback coming in, learning a new system, so that's cause for concern. And you lose your skill guys. The offensive line is intact, but you lose the wide receivers, you lose your running back. But you got 7 returning on defense as well. So I think they'll be good, right? I think they'll challenge For the ACC, don't think they'll win it this year. I think the quarterback and the skill guys, they're still a couple steps behind Clemson in the talent department. But when I go look at their schedule, West Virginia, I like a win. I'm not sure about this Tennessee win, even though it's at the crib. I'm high on Tennessee this year. Maybe that's biased on my behalf. Western Michigan, who's not going to be scared of them, they beat them last year. They should take care of business of Rhode Island, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Louisville. So I really only see them losing like 2 games. So they'll be in play, but and they don't play Clemson. So you get away with that right there.
So they could potentially
they have the potential to get there.
Yeah.
I think if they match up against Clemson, it's just too much talent, and you don't have the Kenny Pickett to overwhelm. Kenny Pickett made other guys better. They don't have that as much.
Yeah. And here's my whole take on the kind of the ACC just off the top is Clemson is still the class of the ACC, but they have not distanced themselves from the rest of the field and become one of those perennial playoff contenders like they were a few years ago. And I think the big reason is because other teams in this conference have gotten significantly better. Pitt and unders this year, big time unders. They are going to be running the ball every single play. They have Slovis who can convert some third and shorts through the air, but they are returning all the running backs. They have one of the best offensive lines. Narduzzi has done a tremendous job. They have a good defense, and really their win total is at 8 at -105. I hopped all over that. So, and you just mapped out basically 8 wins off the top of your head, and you're not going through a potential win or loss at Louisville, North Carolina, or Miami. I will give you the Tennessee is going to be a tough game, but I really like Pitt this year. I think they're just going to be a game. They're just going to be a really good game efficient team because they're not going to let themselves beat themselves.
Well, that depends on how Slovis plays.
I don't really care how Slovis plays, to be honest, because they're returning really good running backs and they're returning a really good offensive line. What do you think Narduzzi's going to do? He's been a run-heavy coach in the past. I don't see any reason he's just going to be like, oh, Kenny Pickett changed my mentality on going through the air and having an air raid offense. Right. I think he's going to be right back to ground and pound, manipulate the clock, and play field position. I see Pitt and unders all year long, and I don't see their offense clicking like it did last year, but you can't tell me they're still going to be efficient, and they're just going to walk down the field and have more of a Big Ten style of play.
All right. Shit. Well, let's talk about the runner-ups last year. The team that at one point of last year's season, I thought they had a chance to, if they would have kept their record and had continued to have that one loss, and they beat Pitt, because everybody, and I kept saying all along, everybody wants to see the Pitt and Wake Forest matchup with the one-loss Wake Forest. I think after losing that, dropping that next game, really hurt the momentum going forward into that conference championship game. But let's talk about Wake Forest, and we already know the big news that came out last week about them, so it definitely ain't looking good. But I'm gonna let you start this one off. Money Moose, what's your thoughts on the runner-ups and the Demon Deacons?
It's going to be a tough team this year. Obviously, you alluded to kind of the big news, and how is that going to affect the offense? And conversely, how's that going to affect the defense because of where they're getting the ball in the field position battle? And they are returning, I think, 6 starters. Am I right in that? They have 6 returning starters, but it was not a good defense last year. And you're only returning about it was not a good defense last year at all. You could use the word it was terrible, and you're probably more closer to the side of terrible than not good, but it's still a team that was able to get wins, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that. They obviously took a huge hit in the power rankings. They've started to slide down, but you don't know where they're going to be at the end of the year. They could develop. They're not going to have the receiving core that they had last year. That's obvious. It's just they're such a huge question mark. They are not going to contend for the ACC. I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, they were explosive on offense last year. I think a lot of people are going to be game planned and used to going up against the delayed read option with the mesh route and him pulling it out. And if he doesn't have those receivers, if he doesn't have players on the team right now that can match up to what those receivers
He still has
last
A.T.
year-
Perry, right?
Say it again.
He still has A.T. Perry,
Do
right?
they have them?
Yeah, I got A.T. Perry and Donovan Green coming back.
The receivers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Taylor.
I thought so.
Taylor
I'm not
Martin.
even gonna lie.
All
to
the
you.
offense is coming back, with the exception of the tight end and the running back.
and Hartman being
And now Hartman's hurt. I got 9 returning starters on offense, 6 returning starters on defense. I don't even care about many returning starters are on defense because, like Moose alluded to, this he didn't want to say it, but this defense was terrible. They almost gave up 200 yards rushing a game, 195. So that's terrible.
well, if they got some dudes coming back, we're gonna see if it's the quarterback or if it's the system.
Yeah, I don't know who the backup is there. Injury just happened. I just found out, so I didn't have time to go check. Yeah, if he can run the mesh route, I mean, their offense is predicated on that mesh, that delayed mesh. But A.T. Perry, if I'm not mistaken, man, Perry is a fucking beast, bro. I feel like
the backup would be redshirt freshman Michael Kern or true freshman Mitch Griffiths.
Yeah.
So, yeah, A.T. Perry, man, first team ACC, third in the nation with 15 touchdowns, second best season in school history last year with 1,293 yards. So, like, A.T. Perry, he's a fucking beast. But, yeah, no Hartman, that's going to,
what's going to happen there?
So, the answer, let's talk about what Dave just asked.
They said just on what the issue is with that QB, no. Oh, the injury is non-medical?
I think he got caught up in some kind of sexual assault.
Oh.
And if it's not that, if it's not that, then whatever it is, he's gonna end up coming back in the middle of the season.
Non-medical. I didn't know that. Sexual assault.
I thought it was medical, so that's
boys be tripping with that sexual assault.
I'm serious. Non-medical and you leave.
I don't support you niggas out here sexual assaulting women.
They would have said it was a family issue. They would have said if it was anything that had to do with family, they would have said it.
Niggas that's out here sexual
they said
assaulting
non-medical
are out of control.
And that's weak on
it's too many bitches. It's 2021. These bitches is throwing the pussy.
Allegedly. That's all I'm saying.
You shouldn't even be allegedly, unless it's one of those she trying to come up on the buddy. But come on, bro. Regular niggas is getting it thrown at them. You're the star at a college. Wait Forest. This should be easy. Yeah. I know niggas that had it easy at Elkins that didn't play sports at all.
He got caught up with fraud. Or he got caught up with fraud.
Ah, man, people be out of control, dog. He on that Latimer shit from the program.
Wow.
That's out of control. I hope that's not true though. Hopefully.
Whatever it is, I hope he.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, yeah, that's what Dave just. It was a non-football related medical issue. That's what I heard. Like it was like
that's why he
like it was like
sexual
lymphoma
assault.
or something.
Oh, like he was sick. Oh,
yeah, like he got like tuberculosis or something.
Nah, they just would have said that.
Well, it's pretty personal. Like you don't really just want to like go out there and say, "Hey, this guy's got cancer." Like usually that's like
they
personal. Like
shit.
we want to make a decision
they
about
say that shit because people like us will be speculating and knowing. Now they won't say he has chlamydia.
Okay, well there you go. I mean, I have an STD.
They won't say that, but tuberculosis.
He's got the HIV.
Like that, they'll say that shit. They don't care.
I've been playing Red Dead recently, so that's a theme of the video game.
All right, what we got up next, Coach?
Sexual assault, man.
Yeah, that shit not cool. That shit not cool though for you niggas that's out here sexual assaulting people.
Probably monkeypox.
Man, I think they say that. I think if you got monkeypox, they say that. I was going to say something, but
if he can, whatever it is, if he can manage to come back.
Monkeypox is not that long. You should be able to come back. I don't know nothing about chlamydia.
Yeah, we just don't know what it is.
Never been in that department, so.
If it's like leukemia, he's not playing this year.
I thought sexually transmitted disease, like once you get to like those that have the cures, once you take whatever you take, I thought that shit is done like a couple days, couple weeks. It shouldn't be that to keep a nigga out for a season. That's not. Those diseases don't get you get rid of in a year, bro. You can't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know nothing about that shit. It's probably not a sexually transmitted disease.
It's probably
If
not.
it was anything else, they would say it. Like if he tested positive
I
for
doubt
COVID,
that.
they're gonna say
I doubt that.
Let's talk
If it's
about-
like cancer, that's private. Like that's super private.
they are gonna
Like,
say if he has cancer.
I don't know.
They're
Even
saying-
telling like
You know how
when you
much
tell
money
someone
they
like
can
that,
raise off cancer?
yeah, but it's a personal decision about when he comes out and how he comes out with it. You know, he's got to create social media content, so he wants to make sure he gets those followers and those likes and retweets about his journey and his motivational comeback story. So allow him to create his own narrative. I mean, it's kind of like joking, but it's also like serious. Like allow him to control what the narrative is, allow him to control the dialogue and be out in front of it. Because if the school's releasing it, you're now having reporters flood his inbox with like what's going on here. Like allow him to control and filter
They're flooding
who
that
knows
hole right
what.
now.
I'm just saying, I think it's smarter to do it privately. Just
absolutely. No, I agree. But
I think if that's the case, they don't come out and say nothing right now.
they won't to.
Instead of saying
it is more fun to like speculate.
Saying
on, like,
non-medical is gonna make people like me speculate.
yeah, it's more fun to speculate. Like you just come up with like, oh, he could have the bubonic plague.
He could have.
Like it could be making a comeback.
You don't want that going around. If I'm Hartman, if I'm old Sam, I don't want media going. Let me talk about the whole done bun.
Man. Well, the biggest coaches change of the conference is Miami bringing back Mario Cristobal down at the University of
Oh,
Miami.
this dude was mad about my take on Cristobal on Big Boss's show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Cristobal is going to do this and going to do that. I was like, bro, I'm just saying, bro, he didn't really do nothing for me. He was like,
I mean, I am on the other side. I do like Cristobal. I thought I was the one like you referred to me when I was talking shit, but
no. It was some dude that left a comment.
Okay.
I
do
feel like
Cristobal.
He didn't really do nothing special at Oregon. You know, I feel like this is a homegrown. This is one of those. He's from the U, trying to relive those glory days. You know, but from when I did do my research on him, what I did find out that he's an excellent recruiter. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he can keep some of that Miami talent in Miami. That's probably a big problem. But in my opinion, Florida got the better of the two new coaches, and he's going to recruit the talent there. But I don't have a horse in the race. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of Cristobal. I'm just like, he has to show me. He's fucking 62-60. Like at least I can look at Venables and be like, well, he was in charge of like a number one live ass defense that won national titles and yada yada yada. Like Cristobal didn't do shit at Oregon like special, and then before that he was with Alabama somewhere else with Nick on the recruiting trail. So that's really Nick, you know what I'm saying? But he's a good recruiter, so apparently he can go in people's houses and say the right shit to their parents. I don't know if that shit is gonna translate to on the field shit though, and that's my concern.
It
so
ain't even really.
All right. Well, I do like Miami this year, and I'm not picking them to be like an ACC championship contender necessarily, but I do like them. I think they're going to be better. Their biggest issues were on defense, and specifically, I remember watching so many goddamn Miami Hurricane games last year, and they could not tackle at all. I mean, their open field tackling was horrendous. I mean, if there was a guy on the sideline, they defaulted to trying to push him out of bounds every fucking time. I mean, you could go back and watch it. If there was a runner on the sidelines, near the sidelines, those DBs, those linebackers that were coming down on the runner, almost all reverted to trying to shove him out of bounds or taking a big hit going out of bounds. So there was a lot of stutter stops that created more additional yards. I do think that their new defensive coordinator, Kevin Steele, I believe it's Kevin Steele, he is a much better and he promotes a lot more. Yeah, he promotes a lot more tackling, and I expect those issues to be rectified a bit. I think they're still going to have their struggles on defense there because schematically they had issues as well. And I don't expect all those problems to get solved this year. But offensively, that offense last year was starting to click, and they only get better this year. They're returning their quarterback, who could be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And I really think that Henry Parrish, the Ole Miss transfer that came in, could be a huge difference maker for them on the outside.
Well, I think I agree with you talent-wise. They're a talented team. even their defense, it was all young last year. It was all fucking freshmen and redshirt freshmen. So you got all those guys coming back next year. I think I was just reading over it. They started in the last game 2 freshman safeties, a freshman cornerback, a freshman linebacker, and a red shirt freshman defensive tackle. So I'm thinking maybe in 2 years that defense will be something.
I also like their schedule. Their schedule this year is fucking super easy.
Oh, A&M lost, but Bethel Cookman.
Where's the other ones? Clemson, Pittsburgh. All the other ones I got wins. So 8.5. I took
straight
that
to the loss. Like, that's the first one I saw though.
So I A&M, Clemson, Pitt.
Virginia Tech, North Carolina. Those will be battles. I don't know if they beat Virginia.
Oh, I think that's they got that. I don't think Virginia's gonna be able to stop them at all.
They'll score with them though.
I'll take Miami's defense over the Virginia defense, and I'll take the Miami offense over the Virginia offense.
Miami defense, they gave up 250 yards pass.
Hey, look, they could not tackle, and that was my whole thing. Like right off the top, is their tackling will be better. At least I expect it to be. It has to be better for what I'm just talking about. And if they don't tackle this year, everything I said is just completely wrong. Like they have to be able to tackle, and I am anticipating that they will because Kevin Steele has a history of getting efficiency out of his defense. They're not necessarily the best schematics, but he has at least gotten his open field tackling to improve. Yeah, so the win total was 8.5, and I took that. It was Miami wins 8.5. It was juiced, but I still really liked it. I don't expect them to be at the top in contention, but I expect them to have a good year this year, and they should hopefully be in double digits for my futures bet here.
Athlon has them to win 9, right on the money.
Yeah, cashes.
Yeah, I see losses to Pittsburgh, Clemson. Definitely Texas A&M. That's
those 3. Yeah, I had the same 3, and then all the other ones, I'm like, yeah, they probably win those.
They could win. It could be either way. Well, not all either way for all of them, but they should win the rest of them, and a couple of them could go either way.
And I'll take my chances.
One of those Virginia Tech games. They're both at that Virginia Tech game might be.
If it was at West Virginia, I'd have a little bit more hesitancy. But at Virginia Tech, I get they have like that awesome entrance, Enter Sandman and all that shit. But in terms of logistically, it's not the same as like going to Plattsburgh.
Yeah, but he was mad at me though. You don't know shit about
I kind of get it, but it's like also like you are 100% right. If Cristobal at Oregon was a playoff contender every single year, all right, there's a huge case for that. But
the guy is 60-62.
Yeah, he's also come into some really bad situations.
No, it's not all that Oregon.
His game is getting better. Maybe he got drugged right in the beginning.
Because a lot of that was FIU. Like he sucked. Like there's a bad record at FIU.
I got it written down.
Virginia Tech has new coaches. Has a new coaching staff.
I got it written down right here. FIU, he was 27-47. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then, that's a tough school.
7-6 at
what are the years of FIU?
Right here, he went 7-6.
No. FIU. How long was he?
At
at FIU, he was there 07 to 12. 07 to 12.
2018. Yada yada yada. My notes don't say when he was there. I mean, he did good at Oregon. He was 35-13, but I mean, I feel like Pac-12. Who the fuck are you playing?
It was 2007 to 2012.
It's like you didn't really have to build a program up. I mean, you didn't take it to another level. What he did with the program was kept it going.
So, yeah,
is this?
He's expected to build this program up.
And just being subjective, is the Miami Hurricanes team a build-up team?
Yes, you have to build them up. You don't want to keep them at where are they at right now? Keeping them where they at is below Miami standards. Am I not correct?
You're right.
So I'm not saying it's a rebuild job, but it's a program that needs to be built up. We don't look at Miami. Come on, bro. When I was like middle schoolish, early high schoolish, boys was when last time you seen some boys throwing up to you?
Miami, you could start to see it a little bit. Like there's definitely
It's more of this going around Florida than this.
But this is a very pivotal time for Miami because it is very much on the precipice of they could contend and actually be a university, an organization, a team that you can start to back and believe in, just like in the 80s, and just go every year Miami's going to be good. Or they could just start falling back to the pack because I 100% agree. I think Napier at Florida was a great hire. He's going to pull a ton of recruits. They're going to have a lot of success. I believe I do have a futures bet on Florida this year as well. So I am all invested on Florida, but I still think that Cristobal can get the job done because the one thing he didn't do at Oregon, which could have happened, was they could have backtracked, especially with how much volatility was going on in the Pac-12. I mean, he could have gotten sucked into it, and I'm sure that's a big reason why he left, because all the uncertainty that's going on in that conference with realignment and all that kind of stuff. But I think that he is at least decent enough to keep them going for the next few years until possibly another type of Napier becomes available.
I guess. I faded them last year.
Yeah,
Miami was a fade.
I won like the first $1,000 game I won was Miami when they played. They played a team of one of those mid-major schools. UAB. They played UAB in last year. Yeah, they played the first and second game.
Appalachian State.
Who?
Appalachian State.
No. Last year?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Or Central Connecticut State. They beat them though.
Nah, UAB, Alabama. What's that say?
That's Alabama. But they remember they opened up with Alabama. Alabama stumped the fuck out of them.
What schedule are you looking at?
Miami schedule from last year.
Oh yeah. But they also had a quarterback change midway. So when they changed their quarterback into the year, they had a much better finish. They beat North Carolina State. They beat Pitt. They beat Georgia Tech. Had a really bad loss at Florida State. Beat Virginia Tech. Beat Duke. So I'm looking more for what happened.
Van Dyke was looking good.
And he could be one of the better quarterbacks in the country.
He might be.
Well,
so again,
Duke also had coaching changes. Duke had Mike Eco come in. He was the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. He's replacing David Cutcliffe. We'll see how he do. He'll probably get a little bit better on the defense.
Did you say
side
Duke?
Duke.
Yeah, we don't talk about Duke.
I'm not going to talk about it.
We'll see Duke return basketball season.
Virginia, UVA, they got rid of Bronco Mendenhall, and they picked up Tony Elliott, who was the offensive coordinator at Clemson.
Big fucking deal.
Then we know Virginia Tech got rid of Justin Fuente. I forgot his name because he was trash. He wasted one of my coaching rounds.
He was terrible.
And he could have went to another school and played and finished out his career. But they brought in Trent Fry. He was the defensive coordinator at Penn State.
Great.
So let's get on to the next deal for the show. Top conference transfers. Any right off the top of the head, I can't think of.
Yeah, Caden Slovis coming in from USC. That's a huge one.
That's it.
And then I just mentioned his name, Harper coming in from, or is it Harper?
Ole Miss. Miss.
Parrish. There you go. I don't know. Yeah, coming in from Ole Miss. Those are two of the bigger ones. And they also got
two big names.
You also got Sarongo coming in from Ole Miss as well over to Louisville, and Kobe Turner, who was a first-team All-American from Richmond. So that's kind of a big one because that's Wake Forest. They kind of need some help in that secondary, or I'm sorry, on that defensive line. So they definitely need a bigger guy up the middle that could stop the run, and he is potentially that guy that could do that. Likelihood of him doing it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't got that many transfers.
Yeah, for the most part, besides Slover. Just a defensive end. Jared Burst going to Florida State. He's ranked number 2 per Rivals.com as a top transfer portal in that conference. Then comes number 3 defensive end, Mitchell Ugadi from Miami. He's coming from UCLA. Another defensive end, Noah Taylor. He's going to North Carolina. He's transferring in from UVA. Defensive tackle Jermaine Lowe, Louisville, coming in from Arizona State. So pretty much the conference is trying to beef up that front seven and be a little bit more competitive against some of the better conferences in the country right now. Dark horse of the conference. Who you guys got?
Can we consider North Carolina State a dark horse?
Yes. With Clemson in there, absolutely.
So I like North Carolina State. This was a big bet on team for me last season. They went 9-3 overall, 6-2 in the ACC, and obviously they were led by Devin Leary, the quarterback. 3,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. They returned 7 on offense, 2 of those guys being his main weapons at receiver. And also you get the inside of your offensive line, both guards and your center. So you got to replace both tackles, which is kind of a concern, but O'Leary can move enough. I think they'll be okay. Schedule-wise, they miss Clemson. They don't. Sorry. They do not miss Clemson. They have Clemson. But keep in mind, they beat Clemson last year. And they're returning 10 starters on defense, only losing 1 guy. That's a defensive end. So I'm really high on this team. Definitely be a bet on team for me. I see Clemson. That can be a game that can go either way, in my opinion. Clemson probably has the edge. And then outside of that, depending on what's going on with Wake at quarterback, that's like the toughest game on their schedule. The rest of it is very, very, very run the table-ish kind of schedule. So I'm really high on this Wake Forest, North Carolina State Wolfpack team. Definitely a bet on team for your boy. So I like North Carolina State, dark horse.
Well, if for easy money for the dark horse, you got to go with Miami. I'm not saying they're going to be continuing, but they had no choice but to get a little bit up there, a little bit better. You feel me?
I'm not high on Miami anyway. So if you call them a dark horse,
all right. Well, just have fun on the side. Let us talk about Miami and have a good time here, Marley.
I like Van Dyke. I'm just not high on Miami.
Just sitting in the corner of a party, like, this party sucks, bro. Fucking music's terrible. Goddamn drinks are cold. They're hot.
I don't think they beat Clemson. I don't think they're better than North Carolina State, honestly. I think they're probably more talented. They got more athletes than North Carolina State.
Who you got, Moose? Dark
Man,
horse.
I really like this team, and I didn't pull the trigger on their futures, but I almost did pull the trigger on an ACC championship, and I almost pulled the trigger on a potential playoff spot, and that's Louisville Cardinals. I think they are a legit dark horse here. They have potentially one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Their offensive line is going to be one of the best in the ACC. Their defense has a ton of transfers that have come in. They have returners coming back. I mean, I'm telling you, like, look, you asked for a dark horse. I think this is one of the best potential dark horses. I've given you 2 of my absolute favorites, Minnesota and Louisville. I pulled the trigger on Minnesota with futures. I did not pull the trigger on Louisville because I see a few games that just it's going to be tough to win. But if you remember when Lamar Jackson was there,
I see a lot of games that's going to be
Syracuse win, UCF toss up, Florida State I give them a win, USF win, Boston College win, Virginia toss up, Pitt could be could be a problem, Wake Forest that could be a win depending on what's going on. James Madison's a win.
Hold on.
But
starting with Virginia,
I'm low on Virginia, so that's just.
I'm not even saying they will lose Virginia, but it's going to be a tough game for Louisville.
How many returns they return on offense?
Offense 7, defense 7. No, left side of the offensive line is turning. Everybody on the offensive line except the center.
And it's going to be a really good offensive line this year. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Skill position groups can definitely use some improvement there, but I expect them to. but when you have that kind of dynamic quarterback, I remember Lamar Jackson's skill set.
Yeah, I think you're getting them. I think that's what you're doing. I think you're thinking Malik Cunningham is.
This is. But my point was going to be that this
Jackson.
is a way better team than what Lamar Jackson had. This Louisville team is a way better team than what Lamar Jackson had. Lamar Jackson did it all on his own.
I don't remember that team as much, but that team is not better than Lamar Jackson. Like Lamar Jackson is a fucking NFL MVP.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue any of that, but my big point here is that I think with one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Malik Cunningham and one of the offensive line that is one of the best in the conference, in a conference that features Pitt, North Carolina State, and Clemson, and you're talking about them having one of the best offensive lines, and you have a potential revamped defense, there's a lot of things in play here that lead me to think that Louisville is going to be a backable team all year long, that in those games you just alluded to, Wake Forest, Virginia, at Pitt, all those games are potential spots where you can take them as the underdog, take the points, and you will, at the end of the day, be very happy you did so, because I do think this is a legit dark horse contender for the ACC, and they're a super dark horse contender for a potential playoff spot.
I see 4 losses, maybe 5.
I mean, I don't see 5, but I could see 4. I think it'll be more around 3. And I am high on them, but I didn't pull the trigger on any futures.
If you think they win 3, you think they beat Pitt. I thought you were.
Yes.
I thought
I like Pitt. I really like Pitt. I do like Pitt. I think that's going to.
Think they lose to Louisville?
They could. I think Louisville's that good.
I like Malik Cunningham. I don't like him that much, though.
But this isn't about Cunningham. This is 100% not about Malik Cunningham. This is much more about that offense and offensive line. The offensive line is a big part in what I'm talking about here, as well as a defense that could be significantly better with the amount of transfers they're bringing over and the guys that they're bringing back.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm not super deep into Louisville, so I won't challenge you on that one at all.
Just Cunningham has to be more consistent when passing.
Oh yeah,
he can run that ball. Running it out of the pistol. Running the read option. They run a lot of stretch and outside zones. He has to be able to throw the ball sometimes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
But other than that.
In terms of dark horse, though, that is that is fitting the bill, because they have all the things that you would want in a dark horse and be able to contend. But the biggest thing that makes them a dark horse is the fact that a lot of people aren't buying it, and there is a lot of Malik Cunningham hate out there, just like there was a lot of Malik Willis hate out there last year, and even going into the draft. There's certain people that seem to draw the ire of a lot of people around the country, and I kind of feel like Cunningham is that guy, and unjustly so, especially if he's going to have a better offensive line.
They don't like the style of play.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, but I do. I'm excited to get to Louisville.
One thing they all have in common, amongst other things, Louisville is so dark. It's not interesting. Exactly.
Let's get to the conference championship predictions. Who do you got, Moose?
Man, this is tough. It is. Because I could argue that it would be North Carolina State. I could argue that it'd be Clemson coming out of the Atlantic?
Atlantic.
Yeah, the Atlantic.
Coastal.
I could argue fucking Louisville. I just did. But I think on the other side, it'd be more than likely it's going to be Pitt. It's going to be Pitt or Miami. Those are the two options I see there. I think it'll be Pitt. So I'll have Pitt going up against Clemson. I'll have Clemson going up against Pitt, and give me Clemson as the ACC champion.
Yeah, no,
I know I totally shit on Marley for saying Clemson's division, but I want to make the point that it's not there's not a huge gap. There's a gap, but it's not huge.
It's going to be Clemson, but
the studs from the recruiting class, they get better. He's missing his OC and DC, but
yeah,
plug in.
But I will say this. You know what? Moose, you picked Clemson, right?
I did pick Clemson, yeah. But I did say that it could be North Carolina State or Louisville. Those are the other two teams I really like coming out of the Atlantic, not Lake Forest.
Fair use.
This is my ACC champion.
Fair use.
Right.
This is from Athlon. Give him credit. I'm taking NC State. Now that's going to come down to our October 1st at Clemson. They went on the road and beat them last year, I believe. Or was that game at home? The game was at home in OT.
Yeah, they're going to both be undefeated in that game. That is, I hope that's the primetime game.
And I'm taking the dog that game. It's gonna be big money. All the money's gonna come in on Clemson.
Oh man, I really hope that's the Saturday night game of the week.
I like NC State.
Do a little prop bet on me.
I will. I'm taking NC State in that game like I did last year. Betting futures though, take the Clemson under, dog. Every game, just ride it out. I wrote that whole at the end of the season last year. Like that defense was legit.
I think their offense is going to be way
I'm not
better
sold
this year.
on Oglele, whatever.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Go with the young buck from Texas.
He got to show me something.
They
And
might have to go with the young buck.
I wasn't liking what I seen. That defense though, fucking legit. No way around it. But NC State won't be scared of that defense. They beat that defense last year, so they got the quarterback to beat that defense, and the skill guys come back. So that's going to be a game that DJ is going to have to produce. A lot of the other games, he'll probably, just got to manage the game. But
I hope that's a primetime game.
Touchdowns. And he has the talent. And I expect if you guys are right and Venables is good as he says, as you guys think he is, and College World thinks he is, then it's only the defense will still be good because of the talent, but they might take a half a step back.
Well, and the only issue with it is Venables was so fucking good in the fourth quarter and holding and securing the lead. He was so good at that he would allow a team to possibly get a couple of first downs, but then he would change his schematic and all of a sudden he would blitz, or he would change his schematic and all of a sudden he'd pull back into a safety coverage. And he would just do certain things that secured wins. Will that be able to get overcome by the amount of talent? That's a really important question. But in terms of Venables' importance as a defensive coordinator, he was really good at shutting games down and securing wins on the defensive side. How many times did Clemson win games with their defense on the field?
Right. So yeah. So I like North Carolina State. I like them to meet Pitt because I'm not that high on Miami. I think Slovis will come in and just steady the ship enough. At Pitt, I think they beat Louisville for whatever that's worth to Moose. So I like North Carolina State and Pitt. With North Carolina State winning the ACC probably for the first time in I don't know fucking when.
I don't have the only contender I think we all agree with it'll be Clemson.
Oh, playoff contender? Yeah. No. Only playoff contender is Clemson. If they lose to North Carolina State, obviously they're out. If they win, they're probably in.
It's just who's going to be that third, fourth team. And I think ACC can produce one even if it's not Clemson. I do think it could be North Carolina State. Who do you think is going to get?
It's possible.
You mean the SEC?
It's possible. Yeah. The NFL gets two.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the SEC getting two in there. Then you'll have Ohio State in there more than likely. And then who's that fourth spot? I don't think it's going to be one of those.
Just have their own shit.
Yeah, with all the conference realignment, you might see something very similar to that.
Once Oklahoma come in, they need to, from time to time. I mean, they can put the other teams in the college football playoff. Once Texas, go ahead and swoop USC and just be like, we're going to start our own power conference. We're crown our own national championship apart from the NCAA. And then we can send like some lower teams to the NCAA.
Yeah. So because your third SEC team is probably going to be better than whatever the fourth playoff team is that gets in. Whether it's Clemson, North Carolina State.
Speaks the right language. College football. They were trying to talk shit about this whole. Who was that?
Oh, boo! Get out of here, Dave.
That's a
No.
big. Who would we talk about first? Big 12.
Yeah,
You
Big
and
12,
y'all
bro.
are big balls.
Big 12. We were talking about how you just tried to say Venables wasn't a good coach. That's the only thing we disagree
But I
on.
never said that.
You did air quotes. That kind of represents. That's
So
the only thing we were arguing
We
about.
agree that I did not say that though.
You didn't say that, but that's
Okay.
certainly what you're saying.
I got to disagree, Dave. I think that Oklahoma's going to have a really good year.
I believe that.
Really big reason why, though, is not. I don't fuck Venables. I don't give a shit about that.
I don't think they're going to win the Big 12 though.
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't make a Big 12 future on that. Actually, did I? I may have taken Oklahoma. I think I did take Oklahoma on that.
Baylor.
You got Baylor?
Yeah, I'm a Baylor.
Yeah, I took Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma in this in that. But the big reason why is because of Gabriel coming over with his offensive coordinator. Every time I've seen this happen the last few years, there has always been just a connection and a efficiency that drives that unit, whether it's on defense or whether it's on offense. And specifically here with the quarterback and the OC coming over, I think Oklahoma's offense is going to be absolutely elite. They could be that fourth playoff team, but it's all about the defense. And if the question mark is the defense and Venables is your head coach, I feel way better about Oklahoma this year.
Yeah, even in his first year.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I mean, look at all the first-year coaches that have come out of from under Saban, and they've all had majority of them have had success right away because they know what to implement. They know the culture that they're trying to get. The guys like Fry coming in.
Though.
No, I'm talking just like in terms of Dabo Sweeney then. And I'm just saying that tree. Like when you have a lineage, like when there's a lineage from a coach down. And
What's the Dabo Sweeney tree?
I have no idea. But it's going to be Venables. Venables is going to be the number one branch on that. He's the first branch. He's the first branch.
Yeah, okay. I was just saying, slow that Saban tree down. Like Saban been doing it for a while.
Since LSU.
Right.
He got coaches.
Right.
Maybe,
right. So we're not going to compare.
Hold on. Look how long ago that was. That was in early 2000.
Right.
So some of the best of his coaches came from that 2000 all the way up to 2010 year. So we got to look at Dabo's time that he's been the head coach at Clemson. He's been the head coach now from 2011 till about 2022 as of right now. So that's the 10-year gap. So all the people that he was doing good with, the Watson and Trevor Lawrence, all of those coaches have all been moved on to different jobs. Offensive coordinator-wise, because Venables was there the whole time.
Right.
We got to give it time for those coaches.
So until that time,
programs that they had.
Yeah. So until that time frame happens, then we're not going to compare Sweeney to fucking Saban. Moose just did.
No, I don't think it's a comparison. I think
he's the closest coach right now that's on his way of having his tree.
I understand all that though, but until that, we're not going to compare an oak tree to a tree that's just now starting to sprout limbs. No. We may think it's on its way, but it's yet to be proven.
And get into the playoffs, and not if they.
None of them have done that.
What I'm saying is time.
Right.
Bro.
I agree with you. So we're not going to compare a fully grown oak tree to a tree that just got planted.
Do you understand?
No, I don't. Because I'm saying
it's just the roots, though. It's all about the roots that you're coming out of.
That got roots.
Don't look at the top. Look at the bottom.
To a tree that looked like it may produce the same shit, but we don't know that yet. So I'm not comparing that shit to that tree. Because there's been other trees that started out promising and then fucking died.
Man.
I don't know them motherfuckers. But it's some. It's more fucking dead trees than.
Well,
no. It's been plenty of dynasties before my time. Yeah.
Urban Meyer.
And his boy is at Ohio State right now. And he won a national title. I'm sure he may or may not have others. I'm not sure. I have to really think about it. He put me on the spot right now. I don't know off the top of my head, but that's one. I'm just saying, can we let the tree grow before we say it's a tree? This motherfucker might die.
He said, let that tree grow.
Yeah,
I'm not even talking about the overall comparison.
Exactly, Dave. Pete Carroll's fucking tree died. Remember Kiffin? Even though Kiffin at Tennessee now, I'm kind of not Tennessee. Ole Miss. Where's Kiffin in now? Ole Miss. Ole Miss kind of resurrected itself. I'm not high on Stark personally. Sark. I mean, I think he's the wrong guy for the job at UT. But Carroll's tree is dead. I agree with you, Dave. So I'm just saying before we, because y'all just like Venable, so y'all trying to annoy him the next fucking best thing already. So
no, I'm just saying my whole
nobody
point
else
is
to name off the fucking Dabo Swinney tree. He don't even have a fucking tree.
He does have a tree.
Yeah, well, all right. Look, so you got to stop using the tree analogy because that's not what like I'm trying to point out here. I'm trying to pull out the culture. Like if you look at the top 3 college cultures in college football, Clemson is in that discussion 100%. You probably have Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State is probably the 3 most elite cultures that have developed. And you could argue Ohio State easily. So I would say Clemson, Alabama, clear cut, 2 best cultures of college football in terms of creating a winning tradition year in, year out, and getting the absolute best talent from the recruiting classes year in and year out. So you're taking now the guy that has been in that system and pulling him out, just like Alabama. It is not a comparison of the overall tree. It is literally just saying, hey, those 2 things are extremely similar in how they are rooted in their culture. And if I'm arguing that Venable is going to be able to take a Clemson culture over to Oklahoma, that feels very similar to saying a coach that comes from a Saban tree that goes over to Georgia. You know, that's what I'm saying is they're going to be able to implement that culture and the expectations better than other coaches from other trees. So it's giving props and acknowledgement and respect to Saban, but also saying Dabo Swinney could easily be a coach that has that culture in his organization, in his clubhouse, in his locker room, and that can filter its way to Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's my big argument. Not like, this Dabo Swinney is the exact same coach as Saban. That is not anywhere close to where I'm talking. It's literally just culture, 2 of the best cultures in college football, and now one of the main coaches from that program is going somewhere else. Will it follow? And if it's a good culture, good program, it can follow.
He had a good run with 2 good quarterbacks. We'll see if his culture sustains.
Well, I mean, I think that we just talked about how Clemson still has all the talent, and it's kind of the ACC's, or it's their division to lose, which I don't necessarily agree with. I still think Clemson is very talented and that they could lose this year, but I do like what they've developed in terms of every year they have that expectation of being a national contender.
They're super talented. I agree.
So Tony Elliott, offensive coordinator from Clemson last year, he took the job at UVA, Virginia, as his rookie head coach. So he's going to have 2 rookie head coaches, and we're going to see how they finish out the year from that standpoint. Jeff Scott, who coached at Clemson, he's joined Kentucky's staff, and then he's at
and that man ain't got no tree.
Yeah, so that's right now. He has those 2.
Man ain't got no tree, dog.
Billy Napier,
but from that Saban tree, yeah, I like that.
Some may want to add Billy Napier to the Dabo Swinney tree. However, their relationship is an iffy one. Napier was a tight ends coach and a recruiting coordinator for Swinney's person.
Well, under Saban though, Bill Napier under Saban.
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, Saban. All these niggas. Saban. That nigga trash though. I didn't know he was a Saban guy. Mel Tucker. Saban. Come on, bro. Stop playing with Nick the Great, dog. Saint Nick. I'm not even an Alabama fan, but SBO, where you at, SBO? Goddamn Saint Nick, man. Nigga, man. Do that. Disrespect him like that with a guy that had a good 6-year run, 7-year run. Saint Nick been doing this shit for 20 years. Compare them people. Exactly. So I'm saying, don't compare them people. That's 20-year tree out there. I'm not
comparing them, but I'm understanding where he's coming from.
Coach ain't the same.
And you have to give it time. That was my argument. They give him his 20 years to see.
Right. You gotta sustain that shit.
So Brothas N Bets in 20, and he got another 10 years because his 10 years has already came up. Let's see. Anywho,
I ain't even a fan of saving Dabo, to be 100% honest with you, or how he run his program. Players be he don't like when players speak out and shit. Oh, bitch ass nigga, fuck that nigga. Y'all really want
my
to?
old man
You really
hates
want to talk
Dabo
about
Sweeney.
that? Really want to talk about
Any
that
coach in
old
college football he hates Dabo Sweeney.
redneck Southern Bible Belt ass?
He hates Dabo Sweeney.
All right, man. Before the season ain't started yet, I don't want to get into it too tough, but yeah, fuck Dabo. End of the day,
I got something to say though.
Hey man, Florida State, I love y'all to death, but I need y'all to have another terrible season. All right. We got to get Deion in there. He's going to be the only thing.
Jackson State.
He's the only thing that can change our program and get us back to the glory stage. I think he'll leave when his son becomes a senior or when he graduates and put him in Florida State so he can get looks at quarterback. Looks at quarterback for at the big Division One. Because they're going to try to change this. If he finishes out his career at Jackson State, they're going to try to change his position. 100%.
They ain't gonna do it to Deion.
Deion ain't got no choice. It ain't Deion NFL. Deion
they gonna give him a look because he's Deion.
I'm just saying, Florida State, please lose. Novik, I don't like you at all.
It's not gonna get you Deion because
Deion, we'll see you in like another 2 years, my nigga.
Deion stay at Jackson State.
He ain't gonna stay.
If
he wanted to stay, he wouldn't have took those interview jobs at TCU over the summer.
I mean, he did get Travis Hunter. I mean, that's like the number one recruit. So, like the fact that he's able to get him to Jackson State.
With the transfer portal, he could take the top of the tops that he had at Jackson State.
He can do that with any
and take them over to
go
Florida
anywhere.
State.
But why do that? He already said he's not leaving.
Because you got to elevate your game.
He can elevate
He's
that
not
program.
gonna stay there until they get in the playoffs. Until they're able to allow the black colleges go back into the playoffs like the rest of them with the Montanas.
I don't think he
and
needs
the
that
fucking North
validation.
Dakota States.
I don't think he needs
ain't
that.
gonna stay.
I don't think he needs that validation.
He wants that. That ain't
For
what
what?
he need.
He needs to talk to a
because it's
nigga
prime
like
time.
he needs to talk to a nigga like me,
He
and that's the
prime
problem.
time. He
That's
ain't
the
gonna never
problem
talk
with
to
the fucking
He ain't
culture.
gonna talk to you
For
right
you
now.
motherfuckers that's listening, that's the problem with the
He
motherfucking
ain't gonna
culture.
talk to you right
Quit
now.
asking for other motherfuckers' validation. We don't need they fucking validation.
Who?
Motherfuckers that's over the NCAA. You don't need them white motherfuckers' validation. For what?
He wants to be over.
You don't need
Because
that
that's
shit. That's like that Oscar.
As of right now,
It would be nice to have the money. It'd be nice to get that money, though.
He gonna get the money regardless. He
It
gonna
ain't
get
about the
the
money.
yeah. It's not about the.
I'm talking about just the programs, like all the programs
That's why I know
that.
he gonna stay.
Like, it would just be nice to have like a better share.
Yeah, he
Oh,
gonna
you think
stay.
he's trying to go to the league?
I don't think he's trying to go to the league and coach.
You don't think
I think
so?
I think he like doing what he's doing for those kids.
The biggest problem with Jackson State is Jackson State might do some things that don't keep him around, because you've seen like a couple of times that people have broken into his office. There's been some vandalism on the practice facilities. It's like that would be the only thing I can see really
That's
truly
gonna make
driving
him
him out.
That's gonna make him pay to fix the shit.
He's just
wanna
like be
fix
like,
the
yo,
shit.
I understand that.
Ain't no shit
But if
to
it keeps
fix at
happening.
Florida State, but football.
And money.
He can get the money. The money go come regardless. He already got
What
money.
I'm trying to tell you is
But
this.
He ain't gonna
He
have the
trying to
same
get his
problems
son
to fix
in
at
the
Jackson.
NFL to
They
play
gonna get
quarterback.
They gonna get the look. He gonna get the look regardless. Florida State not gonna make him get the look. Why?
Because he was playing at a higher level.
ACC ain't no fucking higher level
It
of
doesn't. It's
competition.
better than the swag.
It's just on TV.
It's better
And
than the swag right now.
what's gonna happen is a couple more years, the swag will be on TV,
It's already on TV.
but it'll be more notable. Ain't nobody in the ACC.
I'm
Clemson.
not discrediting that he don't like what he's doing.
That's
Definitely not my argument. My argument is he trying to get the boys in the league.
They go get there. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They go get there from there.
If he felt like that, he wouldn't have looked at TCU.
Maybe that
Florida
was
State
1 year.
In 2 years, if Florida State coach get fired, he gonna look.
Was that before Justin Hunter?
It don't matter. He with the transfer. That's irrelevant.
No, no,
With the
no.
transfer portal.
I
You
understand
can
that's not
he
what I'm.
knows.
You
he
missing
knows
my
what's
point of
going on. Even
asking.
Travis-
Oh my
even
god!
Travis Hunter
You
knows.
missing my point of even asking about that. Everybody knows
Okay,
about the transfer portal.
what's up?
We all know he can take kids
Okay.
no matter
So-
where he
so
goes.
go ahead,
My
say
point
what you
is,
gotta
if you
say.
can get Justin Hunter at a Jackson State, you don't have to transfer because you can get the big kids at your school. So what's even the point? You can get the money, you can get the
But
big
his
kids. The TV
competitors-
contract is down the
His
line.
competitors and
He
the way
knows the
thinks.
NFL, so it's
His
not like he not nobody.
competitors and the way the NFL thinks.
That don't matter.
People that quarterbacks, fucking Jalen Hurts got ridiculed.
That's why that's not for the matter. That's not for the matter too much longer though.
You know why Deion would leave?
For the start going, the NFL is gonna take talent regardless. It don't matter. So if
you know why Deion would leave? I got real talk. You know why he would leave? Because he would want to win the national championship. He'd want to win the biggest prize, like that notoriety. Because he wants to be the best, dude. He wants to be the best at whatever he does.
When he's not even in a, that's to get Jackson State on. Before that, you didn't hear about Deion. He was doing his thing. He been coaching, been doing his thing. He wasn't trying to make the news. He do this.
All right, what do you think about
Jackson State? Do
you think Jackson State realigns? Do you think Jackson State realigns then? Because that would be a more possible realistic.
He's gonna try to bring the HBCUs back, the SWAC back to what it used to be. It probably won't get there, but that's his goal. Then you got all these other coaches that used to be all these other former players that's getting head coaching jobs in the SWAC now. I know you know, so that's you just got Florida. Your heart is with Florida State, so I understand where you're coming from.
If he really,
I get your argument. That's been your school since I met you, so I already know how you feel.
He wouldn't be looking at. He wouldn't have took that interview.
I mean, I hear you. I understand that too, but I'm thinking. I don't know. That's what I was asking. Was that before or after the Justin Hunter? Because I'm thinking if it was after, then
no.
Then he probably.
What's the question?
When he went on the interviews, was that before he got Justin Hunter or after he got Justin?
Wait, Justin Hunter or Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter. I keep saying Justin.
Yeah, he was doing interviews while
the interviews were before.
It was on literally at the same time,
and it's just
it was all at the same time.
No fact. I'm thinking
it was before and after.
I'm thinking more along the lines is he probably was under the idea he couldn't get the recruits that he wanted. Ultimately, maybe I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out. Now that he got, I mean, everything he's been saying, which is what coaches gonna say anyway, is that he goes stay. But everything about his personal shit and what he's been saying and how he like working about these kids and the type of kids he gonna be able to get to try to get their shot, that he know if he go to Florida State, those same kids not go get that shot. I think that means more, and I could be wrong.
I heard him. He talked on a podcast like a couple years ago, and it was like, dude. First off, Deion Sanders is just one of the best fucking people in terms of like when he wants to accomplish something and he puts he's got that Mamba mentality. Like, he was Mamba before Kobe Bryant ever was. And one of the things he talked about was literally like, if I set my sights on something, like if I say I'm locking you up, if I say I'm going to improve this, I'm making this better, it's getting done. Like I will invest everything I need to. I will pull out all the resources I need to in order to accomplish whatever goal it is. And you look at what it is that he sank his teeth into at Jackson State. He's got to have some kind of ambition to bring Jackson State into a level where it's a nationally recognized program. And you're not. I'm sorry, that's probably not going to happen in the SWAC. He's probably not going to get that level of recognition. But what could happen is if there's conference realignment and you get maybe a bigger program from the ACC like North Carolina State into the SWAC, now you're starting to have some of those things get realized. But I think at some point he's going to want to take Jackson State to a level that nobody thought possible. And you're starting to see that when he's bringing in some of these amazing recruits.
That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I think
so. That's kind of where I think he might go. If he realizes, hey, I can't accomplish that at Jackson State, you know he's going to just start investing money, donating money to this to the program, to the university, as he goes over to a potential Florida State or an NFL gig, if he wants to accomplish that big trophy gain. But I do think the trophy is 100% on his mind, and he wants to accomplish that kind of. He wants to get that kind of accolade.
I can see. I mean, I'm not gonna put it past y'all. So it's not like it's impossible. So
yeah, because he's intense. That dude is intense.
Yeah. I was watching their workouts earlier today. Well, with that being said, man, anybody got anything else for open mic?
No, that's it. Big dogs. I gotta get.
Let me just make sure I got my futures out.
Say it again.
I just want to make sure I gave out all the futures that I had. Yeah, Miami, I got that one, and that's it. That's my only one from the ACC.
All
right. Well, that being said, man, we're gonna try to lock in on this Yankees game because we both got money riding on it.
You know, they ass beat, bitch ass Yankees. We got one inning.
Bruce, we appreciate you. Hey, we appreciate everybody watching. We will be back Sunday night to review the Pac-12 and the AC. The Pac-12 and American Conference.
We can do MAC.
Yeah,
honestly,
and we can do MAC. You get your boy DJ on there as well, Big Boss. But anywho, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Marley, want to hit him with the prayer? Hopefully, we can make some money within the next 30 minutes on this.
We got goddamn 3 outs to do so. If that's the case, because they already at the bottom of the 8th. But as always, man, y'all know what it is. I am Marley Betson. No, it's different because he's right here though. That is the coach, and that is.
Wait, hold on. Time out. You pointed the wrong direction with a guy sitting next to you. Like,
oh yeah, huh? I thought.
Yeah, you totally were like pointed to open air. This is the coach.
I know, because I thought the camera was going to be
sitting
reversed.
right next to you.
I thought the camera was going to be reversed. Though. You didn't have to point that shit out, dog. This is Brothas N Bets, and like yesterday, like today, like tomorrow, y'all already know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas. We out this motherfucker.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon'